Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I have some pretty shocking news, and that is that I have a new favourite fountain pen for drawing. If you've been following me for a while, then you'll know that I'm obsessed with the Lamy Safari pens. I use them pretty much exclusively for drawing, or at least I did, until I got this in the post. This is the TWSBI Eco T fountain pen, and I've never had anything from TWSBI before, so this is my first experience with them. First of all, I love the colour of it. I was a massive fountain pen nerd at school, so this is unleashing my inner fountain pen nerd. But the main reason why I love this pen at the moment is because you can actually see the ink in there. So you can see how much you have left, and you can also see the colour of it. At the moment I have my brown De Atramentis document ink in this pen in Urban Sienna, which is a nice cool toned brown, and there's just something about seeing the ink inside that is really satisfying. It kind of reminds me of, do you know one of those pens where you go like this and there's like something inside and it goes up and down? It kind of reminds me of that for some reason. The reason why I think this pen is really good for people who draw is because there's no cartridge. You basically have to fill it up from an ink pot. Usually when you go to a shop and you buy a fountain pen, all of the cartridges that come with the pen usually are not waterproof ink, so that can be a bit of a problem when you're sketching, especially if you're adding watercolour, because then the ink just smudges everywhere and it makes a mess. So because it doesn't even have cartridges, basically you have to put your own ink in there, which is actually really nice, because then you can put some waterproof ink and some ink that's better for drawing and a wider range of colours and things like that. You do have to twist the lid to take the lid off, which is a bit weird and kind of annoying sometimes because you can't very easily take it off one-handed. That is probably the only thing that I would say that is a bit annoying compared to just a normal pen where you just pull the lid off. Now, because the chamber of this pen is so big, it lasts for a long time. I actually have only had to refill this twice since I've had it. It actually has managed to last me quite a few months, which is pretty impressive. So that's pretty handy, especially if you're going sketching outside and you just need your supplies to be ready to go straight away and you don't have to worry too much about having to fill it up before you leave. You can also get a pretty nice line variety with it. It's not going to be anything as dramatic as a Fude nib pen, for example, where you can get really thick and thin lines, but it is just enough that it adds a bit of life and character to your drawing. Another pen that I used to use quite a lot for drawing was these microns. I think they're quite popular. They are pretty good for what they do, but they're not refillable, and also it's very hard to vary the line width with this kind of fine liner pen. With a fountain pen, because the nib is more flexible, for my personal style, I like that kind of messy effect that you can get with the fountain pens. It almost becomes a bit scratchy sometimes, and the line width can go thick and thin. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I fill and empty this pen. So this actually isn't completely empty right now, so I'm just going to empty it by twisting, and as you can see, all of the ink is coming out, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to keep twisting until this little plunger bit is completely down, and I'm going to submerge it completely into the ink, making sure there's no bubbles or anything, and then all you have to do is just twist it. And then just clean it off a bit. And that is basically it. It's really simple, and I managed to not get any ink on my hands, which is probably the first time that has happened. So that is my review of the TWSBI, I don't know how to say it, Eco T pen. Let me know in the comments what your favourite fountain pen for drawing is, and I'll see you in the next video.